Would you do the honors and go outside? Would you do the honors for me and step outside of your home? Step outside of whatever area that you're inhabiting that's enclosed? Could you do that for me? I understand that you have these screens on rectangles, phones, TVs, laptops, computers, and they're all very tempting. They're all very eager for your time. But would you do the honors and go outside? I promise you, when you do that, you're going to be a lot better off, and you won't think that life might be as bad as you thought it was before you decided to step outside into the world. We just got through a very rough stretch of winter, and I guess in the lovely area of the Northeast, it still is winter, but at the time of recording, it's like 65 outside. So I decided, let's talk about going outside. Think about how many memories that you've had being outside. Being outside with your parents, being outside with friends, being outside with family. I know for me personally, my family, every summer, it's a family reunion, a tradition that we have. We head up further in New York, where we're from, and we have a cottage on a giant hill. And we hang out there for a weekend, and we catch up with everything that we've been doing in our lives. And a lot of it is dealt with and is a part of being outside. We have a giant tent that we all set up underneath. We play board games. We catch up again, as I've mentioned. And we're all around forestry, I guess, if you want to call it that. Trees, away from a fair amount of life. It's a very quiet area. Most of that time we're outside. And some of us even would camp outside in and around this house throughout a fair amount of the time. I was one of those people, not necessarily nowadays. I'm not saying my camping days are behind me, but I've done a lot of camping for a lifetime. But go outside. There's something about being outside. Think of everything you can do when you're outside. Think of games you can play. Think of events you can go to. You know, concerts. I'm a big sports guy. Sports games. More so baseball when I think of spring and summer. Obviously, once we get to the fall and winter months, you think of football. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but soccer, very frequently outside. That's an outdoor sport. And think of other areas. I'm not just talking sports games. I know I'm a big sports person, but sports is not that life is only for. Think of parks. Think of beaches. Think of, if you're in a house or if you're in an apartment, you probably have a porch. Go outside, stand on the porch, look around, engage, and take in all the sounds that the surrounding world is bringing to you. And just do that for maybe 10-15 minutes. You're going to feel a lot better. Something I've been starting to look forward to in the coming weeks. My parents will actually be back, and I will not be the only one inhabiting this house, which at times can feel very, very much in solitude, a solitude state. And I'm talking with my mom one day, and she said, you know, you could go outside and do your workouts. I am waiting for those times where in the mornings after the sun has risen, or even maybe when it's early in the morning, maybe the sun hasn't risen, while the sun is rising, coming out here and working out, coming out here and maybe doing jump rope. That's something you can do when you're outside, and that's something honestly where when you're a kid it's fun. And then if you lose the habit of it and get back into it, you're going to realize how much your body needs it, or how much maybe you need to get back to a point to where you can do it sustainably. But think of all of the good things you can do outside. And our world is a very interesting phenomenon in and of itself. The fact that we are able to do this consistently day in and day out, the fact that we have all of this surrounding world before us, the fact that we can, whenever we want to, go outside, go wherever we want, and enjoy whatever we want to be and wherever we want to be at. I feel that just being outside is kind of in the same lengths, and in itself can be something looked at as gratitude is. It can be overlooked at times. We can kind of forget about it at times, especially if the weather is really bad, especially if you get hit with over 2 feet of snow and you're stuck inside. And I'm not saying you have to go outside when you're doing that. If you want to, by all means, go ahead. You might have to shovel your way out onto the street, as I've done a few times, especially this winter. But go outside. It's a choice similar to gratitude, where if you don't think of it as an everyday thing, you can forget. And when you forget, it actually is bad for you. It's bad for you. I mean, I got my checkup a few months ago, and one of the things that the doctor said I need to take every day is a vitamin D supplement. Where does vitamin D come from? It comes from being outside. It comes from the sun. It comes from this giant yellow ball in the sky that illuminates our planet day in and day out. As much as there's so much that can be thrown into the void of our online and overall news space about the sun and about possibilities for doomsday, the sun is sustainable. If you go see the sun every day, you get that vitamin D. You don't have to take a little pill, kind of like this. You don't have to take that every day. I mean, you could if you want to. Vitamin D is really good for you, and any and all vitamins are good, but that's another part of being outside. You get those UV rays. Wear sunscreen though. Don't just go outside and brave the elements fully. Your body, which at times might be good, can redden up. And there are precautions with going outside. Sunscreen is one of them. But overall, just being outside, it's great. As much as for me, this upcoming stretch for me will look a little bit different. I might not be exactly where I want to be, but I'm fine where I'm at. And that's another thing I want to talk about later on in an upcoming video, or talk, depending on how you want to look at whatever these are. I'm looking forward to trying to be outside as much as possible, trying to get out day in and day out. I want to make it a thing to where I go outside at least once a day. I don't want it to be like how it's been the last few weeks with the weather, where the only times I go outside are maybe to go get food or do my laundry, because I had the pipes freeze up on me and nearly flooded the mudroom in our house because I had to drain the washer, which was filled with water. So That's a silver lining in all of this as well. If I was stuck in this house, and when you're stuck in a place for a very extended amount of time, even if it might not feel like it'll affect you, I promise you it will. You might not know exactly in the moment as it happens. You might not even be able to foresee that happening or even feel that happening, because we can get stuck in this loop in life where every day is the same. We can wake up, do whatever we were doing and whatever we are doing, and then go to bed, and then wake up and then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again and again and again and again. All of a sudden, we're like 2 weeks in. And you might not have done anything because you're stuck in this loop, in this cycle. I say going outside breaks that cycle. I say going outside, among other things, also makes you better, not only for the vitamin D, and if you are wearing sunscreen, you look different. And you carry yourself differently, I feel like, when you're outside. It's easy when you're stuck in a house or when you're by yourself consistently in one place under non-natural lighting, to where you kind of get lost. When you go outside, and I'm not saying you can't wear pajamas outside. One of my friends who's now graduated from school, that was one of the things we were talking about, where we think it's immoral, really, to wear pajamas out of the house or wear sweatpants out of the house, unless, yes, you're working out. But when you go outside, now all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, maybe I don't wear that. Maybe I wear something differently. I'm happy, quite frankly, to be wearing just a t-shirt, because it's been months since I've been able to do it and wear one consistently. But there's shorts. Outside of the sun, there's wind, as the breeze just blew right past me then and there, where it feels good. It honestly feels good for you. It feels good on your body. It feels good on your skin. It feels good all around. And maybe you have some chimes going on outside on your porch, and you get to hear those start to rattle out time and time again. You could have so many great memories and so many great moments just from getting outside of the house. And I'm not even saying that from a get outside perspective. Just putting yourself out into the world and going out into the world is a choice to do. And when you make it a lifestyle, the sky's the limit, quite frankly, with what you can achieve, what you can bring to the world, and what you can witness. You could go outside and you could go somewhere and all of a sudden meet someone who will be your best friend forever, your bestest friend for a consistent period of time, where you can look back on that day and say, hey, you know, if I didn't decide to go outside and do this today, I would never have met this person. Or you can, in general, go to a same place repeatedly and make friends that way. Just do something. I've said it before, and honestly, I can say that 3-word phrase for a bunch of different topics. Just do something to get out. Just do something to stop sitting, stop being sedentary, stop living off in your own little world. As much as I understand that we need to learn how to be time and how to rather take time and to be alone and to live with ourselves and live with our thoughts, because there is a stretch, and I've lived part of it now, where you will be by yourself and you will be only around yourself for days at a time, or living on your own before you meet someone. But at the end of the day, as humans, we're people who rely on being connected with others. We're personal people. As much as not everyone will want to admit that, we're personal to a degree. We love going to different spaces. We love getting outside of our apartment, outside of our house, and even if it's as simple as going to work and maybe you're in an office and yeah, technically, you're like, Kyle, if you're inside an office, are you going outside? You could say yes and no to that. Yes, because you left your apartment, but also no, because you're in an office setting. But even then, you're with a shared group of people. Even then, you're with a connected group of people constantly. And even then, you get to interact with them. At the end of the day, I don't know where you are in the world right now. I don't know what the weather is. I don't know what time of day or even what time of night it is. But if you're watching this, let me know. And I want you to make an effort. Could be the next day. Could be the next morning. Could be the next few hours even. I don't know, again, when you're watching this. To go outside. Because the outside world itself is not only beautiful, it's not only at times scary, but it's what living is all about. Bonus content. It's like, well, what's the official temperature right now? Let me pick up my phone out of my pocket. At the time of recording, keep in mind, New York, 68 degrees. Second week of March, 68 degrees. I love that. Again, I'm in a t-shirt. It's a great t-shirt, so it might not necessarily be the most amazing t-shirt, but I'm in a t-shirt. I don't know, can I? Yeah, I have legs. Bet you didn't think I had legs. I feel so happy right now. Especially in a time that I've been in these last few weeks where it's been a little mundane, it's been a little quiet. This day makes me happy. You know, right now it feels like it's 66 degrees. One away from the, you know, funny number, but no. I also didn't even go into the nature aspect of it. I just watched Hoppers. If you want to go to the movies, go see Hoppers. I think it's a great movie. Actually, I have it as my first 5-star movie of the year. So, I think it's pretty good. You should go see Hoppers. But, yeah. At times, this is really all you can ask for. And right now, I'm happy that I'm living in it. Bye now.